Okay, I'm going to be doing a core battery replacement for a 12 Pro Max. This battery came in completely pillowed and pushing up on the screen. And so to avoid the battery message, we're going to swap on a new Amp-Centrix core and use a tag-on flex to reprogram the battery health. So first thing is have a lot of ISO, and you put it right where the BCM is, battery control module, and you want to carefully with tweezers. I'm just taking the tape and peeling that off. Okay, one layer of tape is gone. At this point, we can put a little more ISO on there, and there. And now, the whole time you want to avoid bending the BCM, especially ironically where it's super bent here. So do not bend this area. It's very fragile. I use a spudger and I just carefully bend this out, like so, and it unravels. Then I can remove the rest of the tape, and I've exposed the battery control module. So at this point, use a good pair of scissors or pliers, and you want to cut the old cell off. Don't worry about getting close to the BCM. You just want to disconnect at this point. You want to flip the battery because you don't want to cut through and bridge these anode and cathode together. And then again, just disconnecting. Once this is disconnected, I wrap this with electrical tape and I put it in my battery recycling bin. Just keep that safe. Once this is disconnected, then you can worry about making a cleaner cut. So at this point now, I can not worry about the cell bridging, anything like that, and I can come in and cut this nice and accurate. So what I was trying to avoid before was bridging these two together, but obviously now we don't have a charged battery, or a battery at all, so we don't have to worry about that. So there we go. That's ready. Next step is to prepare the new cell. So the package from Amp-Centrix will come with the battery cell itself, as well as a new BCM cover and tape. So first thing, grab this. This is double-sided tape under the yellow right here. So I press it down, just make sure it's nice and adhered. Grab tweezers and expose the adhesive. Now at this point, you're aligning your BCM with the new cell. And you want to leave some gap from the BCM to the cell. So you can see here, my spudger fits in right there. And if you're looking from the other side, the battery cell and this is completely aligned, battery cell and the BCM. So there we go. At this point, we're good. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm using a microscope to make sure that I'm getting a clear view of what's happening. So I'll just kind of adjust for that. This is the spot welder that I use. If you do it right, you can keep it on a low setting. So I'll use on 2, usually max now. And let's move that out of the way. I have other videos that show the welding, but I will start my microscope camera just for this part as well. Okay. this point, we're just going to make sure that we get this laid down flat. There we go. And when you're welding, you're creating an arc, so if you're pressing super hard, you're not going to get a strong weld. This was game changing when we figured that out. So if I press really hard, you don't even see anything. And hopefully that comes through in the video, but now if I just lightly tap with the second one, you can see the change in color goes to blue. And you can see that huge spark there. So that was too light, created too much of an arc. And this is on 2 of the settings. So there we go. There, that's the weld we're looking for right there. So where I want that strong weld to be is the lighter pressure. So now I'll press hard with this one and then lightly tap that one. Lightly tap it again, just to adjust. There we go, another strong weld there. Another strong weld there. Let's go over here, good. Good. So you definitely want to keep your power low. You don't want to be consistently blowing through. Luckily this one blew through on the end, but I did get good solid contact. You need at least 4 good solid welds. I usually just I pretty much weld the whole damn thing, just to make sure it's solid. And now I'll move on to the second one here. The other thing is you sometimes will have, a lot of times you'll have one that's thicker than the other. I believe it's the negative that's actually thicker. So sometimes we'll require a little bit more power. But you can always start with a lower power with the welder and then increase that. If you start too high, then you've just blown up the thing and you got to restart. So here we go, start low. That's a pretty good weld. So this is definitely thicker. There we go. Go. Good strong weld there. Wow. So yeah, you can see again just on 2, getting good strong weld points. This is probably the most common reason that people fail at these core replacements. Second would be what I already mentioned, bending the BCM too much. Yeah, those 2 reasons, because on my other videos people have asked for help on Facebook through different resource groups. People have asked me for help, and the same kind of conclusions come from unsuccessful attempts. So what I did here is I just put some ISO down there because it's double-sided tape, and it'll just neutralize the adhesive temporarily so that I can gain nice easy access at the excess on these leads. And I can just trim them off. Good. And again, same thing, you don't want to be bridging because we have a live battery here. My scissors make this nice and easy. They're good and sharp and they're curved, which help me get access there easily. So there we go. At that point, you can fold it back down. And I'm just going to blow out some of this ISO. Just a little bit of air. Perfect. Now this is the BCM cover. Comes with this battery. Stick it on like so. It's going to give you a nice clean edge and also act as some protection. Now for the next part, it includes this tape. And honestly, you can play around with the best way to apply this. I thought I had it figured out, but then each model tends to be different. And this is actually my first 12 Pro Max that I've done, so you can learn with me here. I think what I'm gonna do is go like so. Align that. Make sure that I'm covering the exposed anode and cathode on the bottom here. That's the important part. Oops, bumped this free. What have I done? Okay, get that out of the way. Perfect. Okay, I gotta pause the video, I got a customer here. I will pick right back up where I left off. Okay, I'm back. So now all we're doing, we're gonna fold this up. Trying to keep nice crisp lines. I mean, it's cosmetic, but it's important to me as well. There we go. Perfect. And now go down the spine here, like so. And now here is where a lot of people make the mistake of bending. So they will just, oh, well, I need this to go down the spine. Oops, trying to keep the focus here. So they'll lift the BCM and then tuck this down and bend it back. So the way I like to do it, you have a small little gap there, is you want to try and like maneuver this around and in there, avoiding bending, like so. Oh geez, sorry, that's hard to see. So just tucking it in there instead of bending that out of the way. That's what I was doing there. Okay, so there. Now that's done. Got fingerprints off there. But yeah, so there's the battery. The next part is just programming. So I will cut the video and then get everything dialed in and go from there. Okay, one other step. This is one that's commonly forgotten or overlooked. So I've got my new battery all ready. And now I'm gonna do all the reprogramming steps, but you can reprogram it and it still won't reflect the new battery health unless you connect and boot it up with a non-matching battery or power source. So you need to prompt the non-genuine battery message. So all I'm gonna do is boot it up, get that message, and then I can power it off, disconnect this battery, and go from there. So yeah, just boot off another battery, get the unable to verify Apple genuine battery. You won't be able to see battery health, all of that. And as soon as you reconnect the one that you've reprogrammed, it will recalculate the battery health and see the adjusted health. Okay, so for the programming steps, I've got the carelessly eye repair helper. I've got my Apollo Interstellar programmer with the battery board, and I've got, here, let me see, let's go like this. And I've got my tag on flex, which helps read the battery data. I've got my prepared battery, so I will connect the battery to the tag on flex. All right. Okay, so it goes that way. That's the only way that it'll actually connect. Okay, I'm learning with you guys. Okay, so now I got my tag on flex there, this way. Now I can connect it to the reader. 12 Pro Max up here. Come on. connected. On your reader, go over to battery as well. So this is a good sign. You get a message here. Probably not gonna be able to see it on the camera. More than 11 batteries, please use potential repair assistant on your computer, referring to this program here. So now that's connected. Let's go like this. Okay, there we go. Now hit read. So right now you can see the current battery efficiency is 87%. I'm gonna hit read. You'll hear feedback from the programmer. So it's updated to 88%. It shows that it's been cycled 1,000 times. And now over on the right here, I'm going to adjust my efficiency. I usually was doing 100%, and then every once in a while it would reflect in the phone settings at 99. So somebody gave the tip to do 110. Obviously it's never going to reflect more than 100%. So I do 110, and then it always shows 100. So it's just a precaution. Like, it was very rare that it would show 99, but I've never had it show 99 when I do 110. So do that, and then I do 1 cycle instead of 1,000, and then I go right in and hit OK. Data burning successful. So now at this point, the programming is done. It's that quick, and I can disconnect. Done. And now I can boot the phone with the new battery. And I'm gonna have to cut the video because I have to get the passcode from the customer. So right now it's booted with the other battery here still. I'll get the passcode, and then I'll boot and show the updated battery health. Okay, so now I've got the other battery connected. So I want to show other battery. And now we're just going to navigate to settings quickly. Important battery message. That's all we wanted. Unknown part. We're good. Now at this point, disconnect. Set that down. Get that battery out of here. Grab the new one with the tag on flex still connected. I guess I could package this a little bit better, but I don't leave the tag on flex in. There's still a bit of a debate on that. I have done family members' phones with it. I've done phones here and tested and watched them, and the way that I've done it has not caused any issues. The battery health declines naturally, whereas some people said, well, they didn't leave the battery tag on flex in, and then they saw the battery health go down really quickly. That has not been my experience, so it's likely another factor. Could be the strength of their welds. Yeah, so for me, the way I see it, the tag on flex is not screwed together, so you're gonna get a you're gonna have another failure point basically. So let me go here, here. So now if I go here to battery health, we have 100% battery health. So new battery, show it again, Centrix core, 100% battery health. So now what I'll do, simply power the device off. I will be disconnecting the tag on flex and taping in the new battery. You can package the tag on flex, it will work, but if the phone's dropped hard, my concern is that the tag on flex disconnects because it's not screwed in. So for me, until I am confident that it's required, I'll be removing it. So I actually like how they've done this on the 12 Pro Max. Hey, you know what? Looks like they've included it so that it can actually get screwed in, maybe? But that's so bulky. No, it's got to go on top of the bracket. So, no. I don't like it. I'm not going to use it. The way that I have learnt is that the tag on flex is helping the program communicate with the BCM to adjust the battery health. Once adjusted, I don't believe it's required. And I am not saying this is the fact. I am saying in my experience, and I am always open to learning. So if somebody has information that contradicts this, just let me know. But in my experience, if the whole objective here is to have a more OEM replacement, avoiding that message, to me, I'd rather not add a tag on flex. I'd rather be able to just connect with the original connector, and I'd rather it be screwed down with the proper bracket. So that is the way that I do it. At this point, I will find the correct battery tape here and get it all stuck in there properly, reassemble the customer's phone, and then it's done. So yeah, that's a core replacement. I hope that helps somebody. This is not a replacement for the simple aftermarket batteries. I still do stock iPhone 11 full battery replacements for a cheaper price. But if somebody is worried about the battery message, I have this to offer as well. And it's a good offering to have, in my opinion. So there we go. Let me know if you have any questions. As I've done on my other videos, I will reply to comments.